Hi folks, it's Sunday the 28th of July and I'm now in, where am I now? I'm in Shaw Island. I left Thomas Island this morning. Basically the wind is forecast to come right up, which it did quite early actually, and it's been chopping along pretty vigorously all day. So I left at about 11ish, 10 to 11. Just on the jib, so it was only about just under a 2-hour sail. So yeah, headed out basically down the channel, and yeah, I soon felt the wind. I was going along about 6 knots or so with just the jib up. I had the wind sort of following on my quarter, so it was a nice broad reach, so quite a good pace. It chopped up quite vigorously, so I did some surfing, and yeah, it was a pretty exciting sail. It was just under 2 hours for me to get here. This just looked more protected against the wind that's coming, so I thought this might be a better place, and there's a few other boats here as well, obviously thinking the same thing. So we're all just sitting there hunkered down in the bay. It's a beautiful bay, but yeah, nobody's going ashore or anything because the wind is just whipping through here. It's funny, I can see Lindeman Island behind me across the channel, and the old Club Med, which is derelict, I believe. Yeah, I went there many years ago, so maybe when I leave here I'll do a close sail by as I can to have a look at it. Maybe if I land on the other side of Lindeman, I believe there is a path that goes across, so I might even take an opportunity to do that. Just be quite interesting to see somewhere that was alive and kicking years ago when you went there. It's probably better not to, but anyway, this is how today looked. These two cuties greeted me over morning coffee this morning. Nice way to start the day. And here we go out of the channel, leaving Thomas Island behind. And it looks like we're meeting a yacht coming in. Anyway, Thomas Island, and in behind there is where I spent the night. Right, so we're heading off. I can see it's quite a bit of wind coming up out there. Once we clear that headland, we'll be out of protection, and we'll get the full force of whatever's coming. And this is Long Rock, Kaiser Island, Mansell Island in the back there, just coming around Long Rock. Bit grey out there on the horizon, and this looks like Bilbao Bay, and that's actually on Shaw Island. Up ahead you might be able to make out it's Mount Conway on Cape Conway on the mainland. But you might get a concept here of what the sea is like. There's a lot of chop going around here, and when the white water gets up further near the bow, it means I'm surfing. So yeah, it's sort of hard to get that concept on a video, but you sure feel it on the boat. It's quite exciting. So yeah, pushing along here, and heading for the point there to get around on the other side of Thomas Island. That should afford us some shelter, which is what we're doing it for. I'm anticipating the tide coming out of there too. I know some boats went before I did, and yeah, obviously good for them. I thought, okay, it'll just take me longer, that's all. So yeah, got to get around that point, and yeah, make for the next one. Okay, so we're getting close to coming to the bay here. You can see the sea's calmed down a bit now. I had that whole wind over tide thing, which we're all familiar with now. That's sort of looking back out behind. So we're going into this bay here around to the right. And see the colour of the water is getting nicer already. It's quite a way around, which is good. It curves right round, so there should be no swell inversion at all. Alright, a few boats there. Now to pick up a place. Obviously I'd love to be behind that big hill, but it's balancing that off against the depth of the water, because it can be deceptively shallow, and with the big tides. Anyway, this is Club Med on Lindeman Island. I can see that behind me now that I'm tied up. Okay, well, the wind's blowing like crazy outside, so it's time to catch up on some tasks. Now, I've been getting a bit of water in the bottom of the underneath the engine here, and it's not from the engine, it's salt water. I tasted it. But I do have a pump down there, which I've never actually managed to get going. And lo and behold, what do I find? A loose wire. I've actually just pushed it into the terminal, turned the switch on, and the pump works. So, yay! Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So I've just got to try and screw it all together and then retest it. Yeah, that's the thing with the boat. There's always things to do. And of course, there's no real system to a lot of it because it was put together by different people. So, yeah. You just got to try and undo somebody else's work, or try and figure out where their brain was at when they were doing it. Thank you for watching another Fast Forward to Queensland video. As always, don't forget to like, comment on YouTube and subscribe to Dawn Radar.